Hey, how you doing? You know, it could be a real pain in the ass, or should I say a pain in the shin, or shin splints. Now, if you've ever been in the military, odds are you've had to deal with these bad boys. According to a study that came out from the 80s, almost 70% of recruits experience some sort of lower body injury related to overuse. One of those main injuries is shin splints. Now, if you don't know what shin splints are essentially an inflammation of the connective tissue that connects the muscles around your shin bone or your tibia to the tibia itself. So I've experienced them. I remember when I was a young buck, I had them for like 2 years and I had no idea how to get rid of them. I just suffered and I had them all the time. So I put together just a quick video for you guys to really show you some really basic treatment techniques that I also go over in my book, The Nimble Warrior. But this way you're going to get a video demonstration on how to actually do this either before, so as a preventative method, but also if you actually are experiencing them right now, how do you actually go ahead and actually make them go away? Because guys, the worst case scenario here is if you don't treat them, they end up causing stress fractures in your shin, and that puts you out long term. We don't want to get there. So stay tuned to the video. It's going to be pretty informative. And for those of you that really want something else and to go a little bit further, drop me a message. We can develop a plan for you because there's a whole bunch of different things that are probably relating to your actual shin splint issue that is going to require a bit more in-depth discussion. So guys, if you like the video, drop it a like and drop me a DM. Really appreciate it. Enjoy.
So what do we have here is me working around my ankle, finding the little nuggets that need to be worked on, and I go all the way around the ankle. Next I move up the shin till I find some really nasty parts that are really sore. I'm just moving my thumbs in small little circles to address those issues. Next I'm going to grab my trusty foam roller and I'm going to put that on my tibialis anterior. So I'm just going to pop up on my other leg and put weight down onto that foam roller. And again, I'm going to find a spot that's really sticky, so relatively painful. And I'm just going to hold it there for about 30 seconds. And that's it.
Guys, I hope that video really is going to help you out. Start doing those exercises immediately, and you can do them for the rest of your life. I do them pretty regularly because I do quite a bit of running. 2-3 times a week is good, but if you're really suffering, do them every day. All right, so what are some things that can really help immediately? Once you know you're like, oh, my shins are just freaking lit up. Well, doing the exercises, that's number one, but you can also start taking some anti-inflammatories just to deal with the inflammation that is caused basically as soon as you start experiencing shin splints. This is a short-term strategy, not a long-term one, but definitely, things like ibuprofen will help out quite a bit in the short term. Now, something that needs to be brought up is ice. Do you ice your shin splints? And here I'm going to drop a big bomb on all of you guys. Do not ice your shin splints. Okay, Dr. Merkin, who's the one who came up with the RICE protocol, so the rest ice compression elevation protocol that you all probably heard in elementary and high school, and if you're an athlete, as soon as you got hurt, it's like, okay, rice it up. He came out in 2014 and said, no, I've looked over the evidence, I was wrong. Okay, so this is huge, and you can check it out. I'm not bullshitting you guys. Do not put ice. He said himself that rice will slow down the recovery process. And think about it. If you're putting ice on a wound or an injury, what does that do? It decreases blood flow. And yes, it'll make it feel better. You won't be in as much pain. However, blood is the essential part of healing, and you need blood going to the area that is damaged. So adding ice slows that way down. Okay, so don't put ice. You can take some anti-inflammatories and make sure to do the exercises because that brings blood flow to the area. Okay, so those are the 3 things to do if you're experiencing shin splints and they're really painful right now. Get after it, and we'll see you soon.